All right, I'm going to have a go at the Guardian's Cryptic Crossword for Friday, December 13th. Good thing I'm not superstitious. Set today by Boatman. We've had him fairly often, not frequently, but he shows up. I think he likes a theme, if I'm remembering correctly, so let's see. Not spotting anything at the moment. All right, leaders of first revolution in crash. Oh, and then ellipses. The ellipses yesterday gave me quite a lot of trouble. Maybe the leaders of the words first revolution, FR, in crash. Yeah, so maybe FR, and then yeah, I don't see where the definition would be. All right, due to conflict over the middle of the Red Sea ahead. All right, that reads so oddly that I'm thinking due to might be the definition or a charade, a word for due to. Conflict, of course, could be war over the middle of the Red Sea. Depending how you read it, could be the DS. A war DS, and then ahead. Oh, I think WAR DS would make a nice ending for a word, maybe meaning ahead. Oh yeah, onwards, I think. Oops. Oh, that's too short. Yeah, I was thinking due to. No, due to isn't going to be on. Oh, four words, of course. Oh, goodness. All right, tough end, cut off vegetable. I think it's going to be a word meaning tough, and we're going to cut one letter off a vegetable. Well, the first word I thought of was hard, and there is a vegetable, chard. Not exactly sure, some leafy thing, I believe. That's what rumor has it. Anyway, contemptible but delectable, showing no resistance. Resistance, I think, is I in electronic notation. So maybe we have to think of a word for delectable, remove its I, and we get contemptible. Yeah, not seeing it. How about pursue aliens? Ask, even this is futile. Oh, that's a great surface with a reference to resistance is futile, I suppose. Oh, which funnily enough was in the previous clue. Yeah, aliens, often ET, ETS, even, maybe taking even letters out of something. No, I am drawn to this one with short words. Really minced its oaths. Well, we're dealing with 8 letters, and its oaths, not easy for me to say, is 8 letters. So we have that. I think that might be the middle word. And then we have 2 S's, an O, and an I. Has that so? Oh no, an I. Is that so? I think if some, yeah, it's or it could be so that is, but I think it's if you say to somebody really, I think you would say Is that so? Yeah, a little tricky not to put a question mark with that, I think. Let's see. Woman rings boy to collect rustic drink. I think it might be a drink, because I don't think there's such a thing as a rustic drink. I think we're going to have a woman's name will go around a boy's name, or maybe just B for boy. And I think we also have to put a word for rustic in there. Something milk, something beer. Rustic, no. Leaders of hominids usually making a nuisance somewhere. Ah, well, this is like one of the everyman weekend clues. The first letters of hominids, etc., would spell humans. And I think it's a good definition for us. All right, let's go back. We do have a couple of letters now for our leaders of First Revolution in Crash. No. How about way? Oh, this is continuing the. Oh, and then this goes on to the third one. Wow. Way. Oh, I'm thinking way might be ST for a street. Before next bust, perhaps. Maybe before a word for next, and it's going to be a bust, perhaps, which of course could be breasts as a bust. Could be a statue, of course, would possibly be. I just don't get the before next. No. Oh, and then this one says, fearful of acting next. Okay. I don't get that. I am wondering if it could be odd. AWED might be full of fear. You are odd. I am noticing that statue has TUE for Tuesday, and this has wed for Wednesday. Ah. What if the first word has mun? Oh, and now we have another next. Taking over next. Could this be? Oh, I'm going to sneeze. My goodness, be very glad I spared you that. But as I was saying, I think THUR might fit in. But maybe there is a word Malthusian that I think is something to do. Sorry, I never read this one out. Critical of population growth, wild animals taking over, and then next for THU. But there is some word, I think I've read it in The Economist of all places. I used to fly transatlantic more often, and I would always buy The Economist and Q magazine, and they would last me the 8 or 10 hour flight between them. So let's see. So I think that Malthusian word does mean critical of population growth. Oh, I think wild animals is an anagram of animals. Yes, and that goes over the THU. All right, so if we are going up in next, next. Yeah, are we going to cycle through the days of the week? But then this should be, oh yeah, it starts with next, so it must be fry. Target for the ambitious and spirited. Ooh, what's target for the ambitious? Number one. And then what's a word for spirited? Oh, I'm not getting that. All right, well, this should be sat. So next, heretical saint. I think that's heretical as being a bit loose for an anagram indicator, but I think if we anagram saint, we end up with Satanist for Lucifer's follower. All right, after start of assembly, which would be A, then we have next, and then socialist moving to left separately. Yeah, so I think the socialist is a red, it moves to the left, it's reversed, and asunder, I suppose, somewhat like separately. All right, we should be back to Monday now. Maintain surveillance over next terrible riot. Yeah, so what's the definition going to be? Maintain? Terrible riot might be an anagram. Oh, yes, so I think we have mon actually at the beginning. Maintain surveillance over is monitor. Next is Monday, and then terrible riot. All right, patrons of hospital, boatman, next to join society. Well, yeah, so we must have TUE in here. I would have thought patrons of hospital were patients. Boatman, I think, yeah, he had, because of his pseudonym, can use the usual sailor, which can be a lot of different things like AB or Jack or Tar. And then one of them might be a sailor, one of them might be I or me. And then next, to join society. Oh, society can be simply S. Yeah, I think it must be patrons of hospital, and I think it's going to end in TUES. Oh, it's just patrons. People who go regularly to somewhere might be described as habitués. Hospital is H, boatman is able-bodied, AB. Second boatman is I. And there we go. All right, we're back to Wednesday. So I'm wondering about Sweden has wed in it. Countries next. Yeah, it must be wed plus a three-letter dash, which could be run. Oh, dash of something like dash of pepper. I can't think of a country beginning. No, it is Sweden. So that very tricky country apostrophe S, you have to separate those. So it's going to be a country. The the S goes in, and our W, oh my goodness. I'm really confusing myself. And then there is an N dash as opposed to EM dash, which I think is to the width of the dash. All right. We do have another next, so we should be back to THU. Boatman's cell, harsh at first, next emerged empty and vividly colored. Ooh, I'm wondering about the word bright hued. Ah, yes, a boatman's cell might be, they might be confined to the brig. Harsh at first is the H. Then we have our THU. And then emerged empty. You empty out the word emerged. All right. May as well finish the acrosses next. So we're back to fry. Ton of material for glass. FRI. Now he might get tricky and change the pattern or the meaning of next at some point, but yeah, I mean, ton would be T, so frit, is frit material for glass? Let me pause and look that up. Yes, indeed, so that's a new one on me, but with the theme, it was easy to get it. The raw material from which glass is made. All right, a place in the heavens for next to win. So a place in the heavens might be a planet like Saturn. Next is Sat, and then if you win something, you earn it, EARN, but say telling us it's a homophone. And back to Sun, odds and ends from next drains. Well, I'm thinking odds and ends might be sundries. I suppose if you, after you do the washing up, you leave things in the drying rack or the draining rack so they dry while they drain. Is that it? I think this is the first one I'm writing down today. All right, well, I'm very fortunate that my brain works in such a way that I looked at the two I had, statue and odd and spotted shoe and wed. Otherwise, I think this could have been very confusing to a lot of people. And yeah, it would have been confusing to me on a different day. All right, let's go look at the downs then. We've looked at the first one, so let's try badly stung. I go in bawling. I think badly is the anagram indicator here. And we need 10 letters. Stung, I go in. And so it must be, obviously it's going to be an ing word. And for bawling, oh, I think it's going to be something out. Not crying out. What do we have left? S and, oh, another I. Oh, it's not bawling as in crying. It is singing out. Might be bawling. All right, so now spirited, oh, frisky. And the target for the ambitious, I suppose the sky is the limit. All right. Rejoicing in extravagance, raised by parent, ultimately a 6-footer. I presume it's going to be rejoicing, maybe? I don't think rejoicing in extravagance. Oh, it could. I'm thinking exulting might be rejoicing. But not quite sure. In fact, I am sure I don't see the wordplay. All right, I paused there to sip my water and realize that extravagance can be lux, L-U-X-E, which is raised. Parent ultimately is the T. And then a 6-footer, I was wondering how can I get ing from a 6-footer, and then realized no, it's something with 6 legs, an ant. So exultant. All right. A joke describing the Titanic, for example, with the letters, I think it's obvious that's a one-liner, since the Titanic was one ocean liner. Station on the Oxted line, where 1 second is painful, time slipping away. I think maybe it is going to be a station. I don't know. I've never heard the name Oxted before. It sounds more like a government body, Oxted. But I'm thinking 1 second might be IS. And then I'm thinking is painful might be Hertz. But time slipping, maybe we take the T for time away from Hertz. But that would just leave that, and I don't see... Yeah, I don't see where the rest... All right, I'm going to pause, and since I don't live in Britain, I think it's only fair I Google Oxted line to find out, is that a thing? All right, it is a train line in the southeast of England running from Croydon to Suffolk, is it? Anyway, I saw there is a station, Ashurst, I suppose. So I think 1 second is a second, AS, and is painful is Hertz, but time doesn't completely slip away, it just slips to the bottom. All right. All right, gay porn stash discovered. They keep the blood flowing. Ooh, I have no idea how to read this. Gay porn stash. Is gay an anagram indicator? No. Oh no, it's discovered is removing the covers. Oh, that's clever. So now I see what keeps the blood flowing are aortas, which are the inner letters of your gay porn stash. Oh, that's hilarious. All right. People used to call for these to bear them, but some ceased answering. It's a hidden clue. Quite well hidden, I think. People used to call for sedan chairs to bear them, to carry them, and it is some of ceased answering. All right. Finally, report of having taken part in battles here. Could report be a homophone? Oh, I think this is one of these British homophones that doesn't work for me at all. I think if you took part in battles, you fought with no R sound. But I think maybe for some people with their accent, it would sound like fort with an R sound. I'll never get used to that. I'll complain about it every time it comes up. All right, oh, well, I never went back to... So this must start as, I'm thinking monarchs. might be leaders of some kind. Oh, and we do have... yes, so since everything else is next, someday has to be first, and that is Mun. And a revolution in crash is telling us to anagram crash. All right. This was our contemptible... Oh, scummy, maybe? I'm thinking that, but what would delectable would be yummy? Oh, scrummy. Oh, so resistance is R. What was I thinking of? Oh, no, it's not. Oh, it does. Yeah, sorry. I was trying to type the one I wanted it to be. And scrummy, I presume, is just a form of scrumptious. Is that right? I don't know. I'm not 100% sure I have the right end of the stick on that one. All right. Pursue aliens. Ask even this is... Oh, so I'm thinking just for futile would be useless. Yeah, I'm not sure how we're getting that though. I mean, we have some of the letters of pursue aliens, but oh, it is the even letters of pursue aliens, ask even. That's clever. All right, just one left. Woman, oh yeah, rings boy to collect, something wine. What kind of wine would it be? Or can it be something else? And then what's the rustic going to be? Woman rings boy. Maybe it's a charade, a woman, and then rings could be, we don't have two O's, but calls or... Oh, boy might be son. To collect rustic. Season wine. Now let me pause and try and see what a woman, word for a woman or a woman's name might be. All right, I gave up in the end and went to wordplays.com, and apparently there's something called Damson wine. Maybe rustic drink is the definition. I think it's a fruit of some kind, isn't it, Damson? Anyway, I do think the boy is son. But then what is the woman? Damn wine? Yeah, I'm not seeing... Woman rings boy to collect rustic. Nope. We'll have to go to 15 squared in a moment and check that one out. All right, let me check all. Everything is still there. All right, let's head over to 15 squared. All right, the blog is by Peter O. He says Boatman has a novel idea with our 3-letter abbreviations for the days of week. He does point out the drawback is that once you spot the trick, the acrosses fall in all too easily. Yeah, definitely that was the case for me. Oh yeah, I mean I finished in a Monday sort of time but I'm not complaining. All right, I think I've followed all of the crosses until 26. Yeah, drains. Nothing more to say about that. And then on 3 down, yes, scrummy is delectable. I mean, I'm not sure I've ever I've said scrumptious, I'm sure, but I'm not sure I've said scrummy. I've said yummy. All right, damson wine. Sun. Ah, boy plus win is to collect, and dame is the woman, of course. All right. And I think that's it. I think I followed all of that. Hertz with the T moved 1 down, time slipping away. And fort. No, just no. All right. Let's see. Someone agreeing that once you got into it, yeah, so middle of the Red Sea was DS, yeah. Fun puzzle, pleasant solving experience. Yeah, so I think people were pleased. Maybe they thought that it yielded too quickly once you got in on the trick. Statue gave the game away to me. Yeah, I think I had to see wed odd with the statue. Anyway, that was a very clever, so I do take my hat off to Boatman for that one. Anyway, thank you as always for watching. Have a great day and a great weekend.